What if we told you that in just 3 days, you could sip Viennese coffee in the morning, bite into a warm Slovak pastry by noon, and end your day with a steaming bowl of Hungarian goulash? And do it all for under $200? Sounds impossible, right? But this is Central Europe's best-kept secret. 3 capitals, linked like pearls on a string, waiting to be explored in one long weekend. Before we dive in, hit that like button and subscribe, because every week we share journeys just like this, affordable, meaningful, unforgettable. And stick with us till the very end, because we'll break down exactly how the budget splits, so you can copy this trip for yourself. This isn't just about saving money. It's about reimagining what travel can be. Intense, compact, deeply human. And maybe it's about proving to yourself that adventure doesn't wait for someday. The story begins in Vienna. You drop your bag in a modest hostel near Westbahnhof. Nothing fancy, but clean, central, $20 a night. The kind of place that tells you comfort isn't about chandeliers, it's about freedom. Step outside, and suddenly, the city feels like a living museum. The spires of St. Stephen's Cathedral rise above you, Gothic stone against a pale sky. From there, you drift along Graben, Vienna's grand pedestrian boulevard, lined with Baroque facades and old-world cafes, before finding yourself at the Belvedere Palace Gardens. Sweeping lawns, fountains, and Baroque grandeur, all free to wander, all rich in history. By lunch, the air is heavy with spices at Naschmarkt. Falafel, schnitzel, pretzel, the aromas tug you toward a stall where $6 buys you a feast. Afterwards, you wander the Ringstrasse, Vienna's great circular boulevard, where the State Opera, the Parliament House, the Votive Church, and grand museums stand like guardians of the city's past. Even without spending a cent, the sheer architecture makes you feel part of something timeless. Getting around? Here's the secret that locals know. Vienna's 24-hour transit pass, in just $10, gives you unlimited rides on metros, trams, and buses. In a city this spread out, it feels like carrying a master key in your pocket. In the evening, you have a choice. Do you slip quietly into St. Peter's Church for a free classical concert, letting centuries of music wash over you? Or do you sit in a cafe where writers once argued about philosophy? Paying just $4 for a Kleiner Brauner, that tiny Viennese coffee with an unexpectedly big soul? And when the day winds down, Vienna reminds you, elegance isn't always expensive. Sometimes it's just about slowing down enough to notice. The next morning, you wake with a mission. 3 countries in one day. At dawn, Schönbrunn Palace Gardens glow gold in the early light. The grounds are free, and if you walk up the hill to the Gloriette Pavilion, the panoramic view over Vienna feels absolutely priceless. Then, with a simple train ticket as low as $8, if you booked ahead, you're off. An hour later, you're in Bratislava. The castle looms above, its grounds open to wanderers like you. The old town is alive with cobbled streets, quirky statues peeking out at corners, and the hum of a city that never forgot its charm. You walk through Michael's Gate, the last surviving medieval gate into the city, and feel history narrowing in stone around you. Then you bite into a Slovak pastry, warm, flaky, filled with poppy seeds. Just for $4, but it lingers on your tongue longer than most expensive meals. And if you thought ahead in Vienna, maybe you tucked a simple sandwich into your bag. Saving a few euros here means more freedom to wander without worrying about the next meal. And just as quickly, you're gone again. By evening, the train rolls toward Budapest, 2.5 hours and tickets as low as $12. The sun sets on the Danube, and you realize you've crossed borders the way most people cross streets. 3 countries in one day, and it doesn't feel rushed, it feels liberating. Budapest greets you like an old storyteller, half grand, half rebellious. By the time your train pulls in at 8 p.m., the Danube is glowing under bridges, lit like necklaces of light. You check into a $15 hostel near Diak Ferenc tér. The streets hum with energy, but tonight isn't for rushing. You grab a simple dinner, maybe some fresh langos from a nearby stall, and then let the city rest while you do the same. The next morning, Budapest reveals its full face. You join a free walking tour through the Buda Castle district. Standing before the castle itself, you feel the weight of centuries, royal courts, wars, and rebirth. Just steps away, Matthias Church dazzles with its colorful roof tiles shimmering like dragon scales, while Fisherman's Bastion frames the parliament across the Danube like a picture in stone. By afternoon, hunger pulls you into a mensa, and like a local for just $7, you spoon into a steaming goulash, thick, hearty, the kind of food that tastes like it belongs to a place, not a menu. And once you're full, the city offers its most iconic experience, the Székényi thermal baths. For $21, you sink into warm, mineral-rich waters, steam curling into the air as conversations drift in a dozen languages. It's not just relaxation, it's tradition, woven into the heartbeat of Budapest. Getting around is effortless here, too. Budapest's public transport 24-hour pass costs less than $9, and suddenly the trams, buses, and metro aren't just transport, they're a golden thread tying the whole city together. As evening falls, you stroll across the chain bridge, its lights reflecting on the Danube, feeling the pulse of 2 halves of the city, Buda and Pest, beating as one. And in that moment, Budapest whispers, sometimes the richest experiences are the ones you least expect to afford. And that brings us to the question every traveler asks, how does it all add up? So how much does a weekend like this really cost? Trains between cities are just pocket change when booked early. Beds in hostels, simple, central, and safe, keep your nights affordable. Day passes on public transport mean you can crisscross Vienna or Budapest for just a few euros, never worrying about buying single tickets. Meals, street food, market stalls, and local canteens make every meal memorable without breaking your wallet. Even the highlights, like soaking in Budapest's baths, cost less than a fancy dinner back home. Altogether, around $200 for 3 countries, 3 days, and a lifetime of stories. And here's the smart part. You don't need to loop back to Vienna. Budapest has its own international airport, served by low-cost airlines across Europe and beyond. Fly home from here, and you save both money and precious hours. But here's the thing, this trip isn't about the math, it's about the meaning. Standing in Vienna, Bratislava, and Budapest in the span of a weekend teaches you something. Borders are human inventions, but experiences are universal. You don't need weeks of vacation or thousands in your account to feel the richness of the world. Sometimes it takes only 72 hours. So here's our question to you. If you had just one weekend, which of these three cities would you give your heart to first? Vienna's elegance, Bratislava's simplicity, or Budapest's fire? Drop your answer in the comments. We want to hear your story. And if this video showed you that travel isn't about someday, but about today, hit subscribe. Join our community as we uncover more journeys like this, affordable, meaningful, unforgettable. Because at the end of the day, travel isn't about the number of places you visit. It's about the number of moments that change you.